Week 1 of Roland Garros was off the chain. A shock exit for tournament favorite Jannik Sinner that nobody saw coming.
Jannik Sinner's gone. The red-hot favorite out in the second round.
A record number of top seeds getting bounced early. And Americans falling apart on the red dirt.
Ben Shelton left shell-shocked.
But it wasn't all upsets and heartbreak on the clay, because we also witnessed new names writing their names into Roland Garros history. A plethora of 5-set thrillers and insane tennis. And the draw, wide open in a way this tournament hasn't seen in decades. In a brutal week of cramping, 6-hour marathons, breathtaking ignorance, chaos, and controversy, last week in tennis gave us a lot to talk about. Here's a quick rundown of all the action, my tactical analysis, and hot takes from week 1 in Paris. For world number 1 Jannik Sinner, the goal was clear: to win the French Open and complete the career Grand Slam. He was the overwhelming favorite to win, with odds that only fell behind Rafa in 2009. Jannik got off to a good start against Clément Tauber, hit 40 winners, twice the number of his opponent, and didn't face a single break point to reach a 30 consecutive match win streak. But then, round 2 happened. Facing world number 56 Juan Manuel Cerúndolo, an opponent who had never been past the second round at a slam, Sinner was surgical early. He attacked the net 39 times in the first 2 sets. He kept the points short, executing on exactly what he came in to do. But then, up 6-3, 6-2, 5-1, his body just kind of quit on him. Cramps, dizziness, all of it. A medical timeout bought him 9 minutes, but provided no real answers. Sinner hadn't felt right all morning, and once he hit the wall, there was no coming back.
I didn't feel very well on court, starting to feel very dizzy, very low of energy.
His serve velocity dropped. He served for the match twice and won 0 points each time. Cerúndolo capitalized on the situation and never let Jannik catch a second wind, turning the match around to win in 5. The 30-match win streak, gone. And now, a 6-12 lifetime record in 5-set matches for Sinner. Sinner has struggled with these conditions in the past, but he then said that it wasn't the heat or the weather this time.
It was nothing against the heat, nothing against the weather. Was just me today, but it happens.
Temperatures were hovering around 30 degrees Celsius, and it wasn't exactly the ideal condition for tennis. So Sinner saying that the heat didn't play a part, I'm kind of going to call cap on that one. I think as far as the conditioning goes, Sinner had a lot of mileage on his legs coming into Roland Garros this year, and I think his body just kind of gave out from all of the tennis that he'd been playing up until this point. And just like that, for the first time in 9 consecutive Grand Slams, a man not named Jannik or Carlos is going to win a major title. Then you start thinking that just maybe this is Novak's chance. But as I said in my French Open predictions, as much as I wanted to see it happen, I just didn't see Novak getting over the line. Novak pulled up in Paris without a single clay court win in 2026, and his first opponent was one big serving Frenchman, Giovanni Mpetshi-Perricard. Djokovic couldn't buy a break of serve for an hour and a half, and he was a little out of rhythm coming out of the gates. However, once Novak did get that break in the second set, the doors opened. Djokovic took care of business in 4. He then got past Valentin Royer in 4 sets in the second round as well. Then came that 4-hour and 53-minute third round blockbuster against Fonseca on Friday afternoon. Djokovic took the first 2 sets and looked every bit the 24-time champion we knew him to be. But then, something shifted. Fonseca stopped constructing and started swinging. He took the ball early, hit through the court with his monster forehand, and gave Djokovic 0 time to reset. 13 winners in the first 2 sets combined quickly became 46 in the next 2 sets as he pushed Novak way back behind the baseline. Novak then threw up at the start of the decider, but still grabbed the early break. But Fonseca broke straight back and again at 5-all before serving 3 consecutive aces to close it out. In doing so, he became the first teenager ever to beat Novak in a Grand Slam. It was also a bit of a coming-of-age performance for Fonseca. For context, Novak was 279-1 all-time in Grand Slams when leading 2 sets to love. He'd also reached the quarterfinal at Roland Garros every year since 2010. Novak losing from 2 sets up? That just doesn't happen. But at 39 and facing such a talent in Fonseca, I honestly can't say I was surprised. Plus, now, the GOAT isn't even sure if he's coming back.
Novak, will we see you back at Roland Garros next year? I don't know.
As a sports history nut, I will shamelessly admit that I wanted to see Novak win number 25 here on the dirt here in Paris. But it was always going to be a tall task, and especially with such limited match play on clay coming into Roland Garros, I wasn't exactly sure that Novak was going to be able to do it anyway. Fonseca needed back-to-back comebacks from 2 sets down to reach the second week of a major for the first time. His talent was never in question, but now we're seeing the grit and the belief. Heck, this guy even feels like John Isner on serve.
I just believed I could do aces, and I felt like John Isner.
He also just took down one of the new favorites to win the title in Casper Ruud. Now, I have to say, he had a lot of mileage on his legs after playing back-to-back 5-setters in the second and third round before taking down Casper in 4, so he came out a little bit flat against Mensik. Still though, a quarterfinal showing for Joao is definitely something he'll be proud of. But what about the other teenager? Rafael Hodar. He needed back-to-back 5-setters to reach the quarterfinal, where at the time of this recording, he'll now face Zverev. Hodar is tied with Sinner for the most wins on clay this season, which is pretty crazy because I still don't think we've even seen his best level in a tournament yet. Is he gonna step it up against Sasha? Well, from past Noah to future all of you, let me know in the comments. Speaking of Zverev, he's done exactly what he needs to do so far, winning matches the easy way. He's only dropped a set in his first 4 matches in Paris, and he also hasn't faced any seed either. It's safe to say that this is genuinely the best shot he has at a first Grand Slam title. No Jannik, no Carlos, no Novak. He might honestly never have a better shot than what he has right now. Look, the pressure of doing something you've never done before is real. That's exactly where Zverev is right now, and I can't help but wonder if he can handle the moment when it comes, but what about the other contenders? Felix pulled off a Houdini against Altmaier in the first round after going down 1-4 in the 5th set. Felix has played some close sets last week, but he's now into the second week, which is all that matters. He's playing with more confidence. Also, knowing he's one of the few people to have pushed Nadal to 5 sets on clay, Felix will want to look inwards to find that magic in the later rounds. We're also seeing a resurgent Matteo Berrettini making a comeback, and this one's gotta feel good. It's easy to forget that he hasn't played Roland Garros since 2021 due to recurring injuries and setbacks. And in round 3 on Saturday, he saved 2 match points to beat Francisco Comesaña in 5 sets in over 5 hours. He's got some momentum now. There's no denying that.
I feel like I built this confidence up, so I feel confident.
But the biggest concern for me is seeing how he holds up physically in the later rounds. Casper Ruud couldn't quite take advantage of a wide open draw. He dealt with heat stroke against Safiullin in the first round with temperatures as high as 33 degrees Celsius in Paris. Guys, trust me, it was hot. He then survived Tommy Paul, coming from 2 sets down and saving match points in the 3rd round. However, he came up just short against Fonseca in the 4th round. Tommy Paul, meanwhile, would be disappointed after blowing 2 match points against Ruud. But what about the other Americans? Collignon dismantled Shelton in the 2nd round, and it wasn't close. The Belgian Rafa was nearly unbreakable with insane numbers behind both his first and second serves. Shelton failed to create a single break point all match. Props to Collignon for the performance, but seeing the poor form Shelton has been in is pretty concerning. Taylor Fritz had been working his way back from knee tendonitis, and it showed. He went down in round 1 to Basavaredi in 4 sets. Back-to-back first-round exits at Roland Garros for him now, and tendonitis isn't exactly the easiest thing to get rid of. Meanwhile, Lerner Tien made the 3rd round in Paris. Fresh off a title in Geneva, I can't say I'm bummed that he lost to a fellow top 20 player. At the time of this recording, Tiafoe is still in the draw. He's played 14 sets and 3 rounds of tennis, and I'm loving the fight he's been showing lately. I interviewed Tiafoe earlier this year, and it's clear that he meant what he said right here. Tell me, what is your 3 biggest hopes or your biggest goal for 2026?
I mean, I just want to show up every week. I want to try to play at a good, decent level each and every week. Number 1, get back in the top 10. I would like to win a title this year.
Also, shout out to Opelka for keeping it real.
What do you think your odds are of winning?
Oh, God. Like a real guess? 0.
And what about the insane drama between Davidovich Fokina and his coach? What do you guys think? Or the awkward interaction between Novak and the cameraman?
19-year-old opponent. He needs 2 sets to love.
And don't even get me started on the bizarre toilet break Arthur Gea needed.
I feel it's going to blow out, really. No, it's not a joke.
Crazy scenes there. Now, in my French Open predictions, I had Medvedev either making the 2nd week or going out in the 1st round. The latter happened, and looking at his record here, it's not even really surprising. 7 first-round losses. How do you go from nearly upsetting Sinner in Rome to losing to World 97 Walton with a scoreline like this? For Tsitsipas, it's even more tragic. His last 8 slam results look like this. It honestly doesn't really get worse. Alex de Minaur, a third-round exit to Mensik, who has shown a lot of fight this tournament. He was cramping badly against Navone in the second round and got a time violation at 7-all in the deciding tiebreak. This one was a really tough call because cramping technically isn't even a medical issue. It's an issue of hydration, and it's not like the trainer can really do anything for it anyway, other than force the player to drink more fluids. At the same time, I guess you could say it was kind of cruel. Francisco Cerundolo also got upset by world number 85 Zachary Svajda in the third round. And now, it's his brother Juan Manuel making a splash in Paris. That's a major plot twist I can't say I saw coming. Rounding up the men's section, we saw some pretty wholesome moments. A farewell for the one and only Gael Monfils, 2008 semifinalist on this very court. 17-year-old world number 318 Moise Kouame made history after reaching the third round himself. Kouame survived a 5-hour, 5-set war against Danny Vallejo, who, by the way, then made this ridiculous comment after the match, suggesting female umpires can't handle rowdy crowds. Seriously? What a crybaby comment to make. I'd expect better from any pro player, and this is no exception. Roland Garros has since issued a statement, and hopefully Vallejo can do better. On the women's side, we had even more drama. Rybakina's push for world number 1 took a massive hit, losing to world number 55 Yulia Starodubtseva in the second round. 71 unforced errors from Rybakina. No bueno. Kostyuk, still undefeated on clay, took out Swiatek in straights. It's Iga's earliest exit since 2019. She now faces Svitolina in the quarterfinal, who's been playing lights out with the most wins on tour. Honestly, whoever wins that one can maybe go all the way. Sabalenka is still going strong, keeping her quest for a first Roland Garros title alive. Going against Osaka in the fourth round, it'll be the first women's night session on Philippe Chatrier since 2023. Speaking of Osaka, it's her first Grand Slam second week outside of hard courts. She's made fashion statements, and now she means business. Kristea is still going strong in her final season, and now faces Andreeva, who's back in the quarters. It was a mixed week for the American women. Madison Keys made it into the fourth round, and her victory over Mboko was her first top 10 win since claiming the Australian Open title. Is she back? Meanwhile, Goff, the defending champion, is gone. Potapova knocked her out in 3 sets after fighting from 1-3 down in the decider. Goff now drops out of the top 5, and Jessica Pegula also went out in round 1 after losing to world number 83 Kim Burrell, with Anisimova also losing to Diane Parry. More disappointment came after Haley Baptiste, playing the best tennis of her life, landed awkwardly on her left leg on a jumping forehand. Reports confirmed ACL and meniscus issues, with surgery incoming and 6 months minimum off tour. Definitely the most heartbreaking moment of the week. Last week in tennis was absolute insanity, and I can't remember a time, at least in my lifetime, when Roland Garros has felt as open as it is right now. We'll be covering all of it from Paris here on Courtside Tennis, so like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of our coverage or our Week 2 recap dropping after the final. And until next time, keep going for the lines.